Do it like that, huh? That'll work for me. I'm fine with that. We are.
That's we are.
Yeah, we are live now. Now I bet we can see that shit.
Yep.
Yeah. See, now we're live on. Now it's showing up on there. I don't know why it wasn't showing up on the other the Mevo thing, and that sucks because that thing's kind of awesome.
It's kind of fancy, I think.
It's a little fancy. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what the issue was with that.
On the iPhone.
Doesn't matter. Well, hello, you.
The whole time.
There you go. Do that. That's perfect. I'll do the same thing.
It's gonna be difficult.
So welcome to My Stuff podcast, sponsored by Southern Coast Insurance Group.
Nailed it.
We are in it, so to speak. And I know that's Patrick Hannah watching. Is that Trick Hannah up in the house?
T. Hannah, are we live?
Are we live now? Is this thing cool?
We got a buzz. We got another buzz. I think that's P. Hannah.
I bet it is.
Confirming live.
Confirming that we is. Confirming that we is live.
Can now.
Well, that's a bummer for the nerds out there. We had the video platform from which we were trying to record. We get a lot of cool little angles and shit. Wasn't posting to YouTube, so. If you want to hear the behind the scenes of that shit, you're going to have to go to the audio, which usually it's reversed. You have to go to the video to catch the shit that we take out of the audio.
Go to Podomatic to hear about the double reverse okie doke. Or iTunes, I think.
Yeah, the double reverse okie doke that's gonna be the one that gets them in.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the one.
That's the draw.
Can you guys hear all this water I'm drinking?
Hold on. I got water, no ice.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. So, that was beautiful. Patrick Hannah says, "Hi, Daddy." Did you get it?
Excuse me, I just inhaled water.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Thanks, Patrick.
Thanks, Patrick. All right, so going back, minutes 1 through 7.
Oh yeah, minutes 1 through 7. Repack.
I was telling earlier, I apologized for there you go. There you go. I apologize for ignoring you, Repack, and walking away or totally starting a conversation with somebody else. I was already in the middle of a conversation with somebody else. You approached me. The people in the audio world will hear this twice. For people like Cheese, who likes to hear things twice, this will be your moment to shine, buddy.
Yeah, and then I just wanted to apologize to Repack for ignoring you 3,000 times before that when I was talking to somebody else, but you wanted to talk to me. So I'm really sorry, Repack.
Sorry, bud.
Yeah, man. Sometimes
we do love you.
Yeah, we do. And I promised you that we would talk about you, but not talk shit about you.
Yeah, well, and this has all been very kind so far. We're actually getting out of the things when we have,
this is
early.
Minute 1. We have 6 more minutes.
Yeah.
To go after this.
What's funny is you share one crucial trait with John Repack.
I do.
Yes.
Oh, I know it.
Tell the world what it is.
That is a love for the South Carolina Gamecocks.
I mean,
and it is So he's going to talk to me about the Gamecocks just out of, knowing that that's kind of my thing.
I mean, that's you guys.
But I pity the fool that walks into Tito's that doesn't know Repack, that wears any sort of Gamecock gear.
I pity the fool.
Because then they're going to get talked to by Repack. Because he's an approacher, as we talked about earlier.
He approaches.
And if you have a Block C logo,
worse than herpes.
Shirt. Repack is worse than herpes? Is that what we're saying?
No. Patrick Hannah just said worse than herpes.
Oh, this podcast.
Probably.
Dang. I thought I was going to do better than that.
I mean, we at least get gonorrhea numbers.
God, really?
I mean, maybe.
Like Magic Johnson,
I mean, we ain't going for that, man.
32 viewers would have been nice.
We ain't shooting for the LA Dodgers.
God. So Repack's gonna come up to you. You don't know him. He's gonna be like, Repack will just come up to you and be like, "Jake Bentley, bro," and you don't know Repack, and you've never been to Tito's ever, and you just have to respond like with a high five or something real awkward.
Yeah, like, do you know what, man? You know, when he first took the field, I didn't know how he was gonna do, man.
Right.
But then it's like,
right,
okay,
yeah, and he just
right.
keeps on approaching you.
Approaching.
Yes.
Oh
boy.
Patrick said something and then retracted it.
Oh, a retraction, an early retraction in minute 2.5.
Well, see, he's a moderator, so he gets to do things like that.
Oh, Pete to the hat trick.
Oh, the P to the hat trick.
Mm-hmm.
So,
there.
One thing that I will say about John Repack is that I'm pretty sure if either one of us were broke down in the middle of the highway somewhere and we had to call one person that would no doubt come and pick us up, it'd probably be him.
That's correct. Well, Repack, Bradley Parker, or Chuck Harrison.
Well, Bradley wouldn't do it
three.
Unless you put it on Facebook.
That's true. You could only request it to him through Facebook.
And you have to tag him. And I'm not just talking about in a comment section. I mean, like, it has to be a full-on status.
Well, you might have to, like, put a live video. Like
you have to go live.
Tag him.
Yeah.
And ask him. I don't know.
No,
but there was something that you said the other day about.
Don't be a Bradley Parker.
Well, I say the other day. By the other day, I mean like this is the 43rd podcast.
43rd one.
And one of your first 5 podcasts that like Merle's Inlet is such a cast of characters.
Oh, 100%.
And there's no Merle's Inlet without Repack.
Well, not at all.
Or Kelsey, of course.
Well, I mean, there is a Merle's Inlet without me because I haven't been in it for like however many years.
But you're still a thing. You're still a fixture.
Well, see, I've become exactly what I wanted to.
A legend?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm exactly where I wanted to be, man. Like, people just talk about me. It's like, you know what, man? I heard about this guy that used to just fuck everybody else around here drinking rumple.
Yeah. Remember when Kelsey used to just keep the bar open for no reason at all?
Yeah.
Except just to keep the bar open?
Yeah. I love that fucking hole in the wall.
It's a great
I raised that thing from a pup.
Oh, I forgot. I did have another 7-minute segment. Now you're talking about this.
Oh, well, you know what's funny is I believe that we've given Repack his
Repack? Are we at 7 for Repack?
We'll
Repack, we love you. You know that.
Repack, seriously.
No, so Jim, let me give another 30 seconds to Repack.
Okay.
So Jimmy is one of the owners of Tito's. Jimmy and I were talking to Repack one night, like Repack. Like, so there's a myth, an urban legend that Repack knocked a guy out at Tito's. It's not a legend, it really happened. So Jimmy and I were like, all the shit that we have talked about you and to you and in front of other people, like towards you. But he's always there and he takes it well and he's a gentleman for that. So we were like, so Repack, why have you not kicked our ass? Like,
why was it the one guy who's always like kind of nice to everybody?
In and out, you know. Why haven't we been punched before? And I don't think we ever got a real answer, but that's just Repack. He's one of those Merle's Inlet characters.
Repack is there wouldn't be a Tito's without Repack.
That's right.
Every place has one, and everybody will probably say the same thing, that it's like they're just the easy target, and they're 9 times out of 10 a good sport about it.
That's right.
And there'll be the one time. Speaking of which, can we go?
We're gonna give him another 30 seconds.
No.
Okay.
We're gonna give another person 30 seconds. Were you at Tito's that day? That me and I want to say you were, but me and Will and Summit and all of us were just ragging on Chicken Mike, and he got up and got real pissed off and like stormed out.
Yes, I was. He was another good one.
Sorry, Chicken Mike.
Chicken Mike, you get minutes 8 through 11. That's good.
All right. So we were sitting here one day, and this was back when I was the only bartender that worked at Tito's. Like people would call me and be like, "Hey man, you gonna open up today?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I guess. Fuck it. I'll be there in a minute." I wasn't gonna open until 6. Be like, "Well, it's 4:00. We're all sitting in the parking lot. It'd be cool if you get here." And sure enough, like I live close enough to where I could literally stumble out of bed and be there in 2 minutes. So I would do that more often than not. But Chicken Mike used to be Repack before.
That's right.
Before see if he kept hanging out late, he would be. But then he stopped. He started doing the happy hour thing.
Chicken Mike disappears before dark.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
Out.
before us vultures get out and we're ruthless. I'm telling you.
If ever I see Chicken Mike, I just recommend like you know what would be a good new bar for you, Merle's Inlet Sports Bar or whatever it's called. That next one down. You know, like this doesn't need to be your spot anymore. But I don't really mean it. It's
of
kind
course,
of mean spirited.
But
he takes it well.
Yeah, we all give him shit for a while, but I didn't want to go down a whole 7-minute portion, but 8 to 11 is fine.
That's right.
8 to 11 is fine with the. You know what? 47 seconds, 48 seconds. Chicken Mike formally apologized for being such a dick that day, but I must tell you, it was the funniest thing I've witnessed.
The best. It was a complete pile on, and it was very.
Fuck you, Mike. You a piece of shit, Mike. Fuck shit. Shut up, Mike. Just walk out.
Constantly. And then when he left, I think we applauded.
Yeah, Summit went after him. Summit went and you remember?
No, I don't remember the specifics.
Summit went outside and was like, man, we have to let him know that we're just fucking with him. Like, I'm pretty sure that Summit did that.
Someone went and kind of hugged him.
I think he did. He went
he got on his bike.
at least said something, but he was I think he was still in the old BMW back then. I think he was
big
still
time.
I think he was still in the what's that thing called? The X4? Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Before he was on his motorcycle.
Before he was in that truck even.
Killing.
Anywho, well past Chicken Mike. Sorry we gave you too much time.
Apologies. That was almost 3 minutes.
So the segue that you were making is that you and James were talking about repack. James is going to be on the podcast here.
Yeah, I heard that. I think that'll be good. James can talk to you about
next Wednesday, I think.
The history of Tito's that we're actually doing right now, but he'll do it better.
Yeah.
And more entertaining. He can also talk to you about how the internet killed the radio star. Is that a new thing? Oh
man, it probably is because he actually mentioned something like that would be a good topic. He wanted to bring what's his name? The morning show. Yeah.
It's hilarious.
He wanted to bring him on.
Gold on Mike, yeah.
Which would be good, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be very good. And could tell you some real behind the scenes kind of stuff.
We froze. But see, unfortunately,
face in there.
Well, fortunately,
I was doing it, but it was frozen, so I'm not sure.
Well, I don't know. It says 12:11, and it's stuck. Hopefully, it ain't stuck. We'll see.
No. So what I wanted to bring up for minutes, kind of lost track of which was which, but say 35 to 42.
Yeah.
Best Tito's bathroom wall art.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that's a good one.
Some of them are, and you know what? You do so many of those that gets blamed on me. Gets blamed on me. Because I'm the only one that walks into this building that says the things that gets wrote on the wall.
That's right. And then I might write what you say.
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't put your name
Kelsey
said this.
Yeah, but it's kind of,
quote.
I'm the only one that says it.
Kelsey, yeah. My favorite one, and I think Will Hanna is responsible. I'm not still sure, but this is my number one favorite. There's been a lot, as you know. That bathroom has been Sharpied.
We painted over it.
Repainted, Sharpied.
So many times.
I would say at least 6 to 7 times, maybe more. But there was one in the women's room, and it said, Wes Standish did me right. And one of my cousins was in town from New Jersey, a female, who I love dearly. And I happened to be out of town this weekend, and she was here hanging out with Katie and Jimmy.
Yeah.
And I get a Instagram notification she has taken this picture of Wes Standish has done me right, tagged at Uncle Tito's and tagged Wes Standish in the picture. And that one just always makes me laugh.
That was a good one.
Also, all the glory holes are always. Yeah. That's in my top 5. All the glory holes.
We would do one like a giant one that says glory hole, and then a dot that says Chicken Mike glory hole.
Wes Standish glory hole. There's also,
Wes Standish glory hole. BD Dub.
Is this plugged in anything?
Nope.
No. It was about those glory holes. But those are always funny.
Yeah. For the nerds out there, we would do a 1/4 inch hole and then a 3.5.
Right.
Millimeter.
You know what he's talking about.
Y'all got me.
You know he's talking about.
Get at me. Woo. Tang.
Ooh.
Dang.
Ooh.
Dang. They ain't ready. But so, yes, wall art was the best one. Kelsey is a dead man. I'm pretty
Kelsey
sure
is a
Noah
dead
wrote
man.
that. Pretty sure Noah Byrne did that.
That was a good one. I might have read that. I
Did
might
you
have
write
read
that?
somebody else as a dead man. On
Did you
top
write
of
that?
I think I might have read that. I can't remember. I might have stole it from like one of Noah's things.
I don't know. I just assumed it would always be either him or Tyler Brown because it would just happen on those nights.
Will did the one of Summit with the Indian and the Indian, and the one that was like X'd out.
Oh yeah, dots not feathers.
Yeah, dot and a feather.
Yeah.
And the feather was X'd out.
Yeah.
And that was funny.
These were all borderline racist as well.
Yeah.
You know,
All inappropriate.
all inappropriate, all in good humor, but
That's right.
You know, we've progressed.
Merle's has come a long way in the last
Come a long
5 years.
way.
Long way.
Long way. So we were talking about James.
Yes.
You were going to dedicate minutes 7 through 14 to James, but we gave a little bit of that to Chicken Mike. It's a bathroom wall art.
Chicken Mike got, what do you get, like a minute and a half?
Enough.
Bathroom wall art got 3-ish minutes.
Ish. We'll keep going back to that.
Let's give Jimmy like 3 minutes.
The bathroom wall art will be just like wall art.
Yeah. Got him. So, but I feel like you and Jimmy should talk about like the history of Tito's, like, because that's been such a like.
I mean, we'll get to it. It ain't like
it will. It wouldn't be the end of the world if we ever laughed. That's true.
Yeah, it's not gonna be the end of the world if we talk about some of the same things. I mean,
but so one of my friends texted me today, like, "What is this MI podcast or MI Stuff podcast?"
Oh, is this a friend that I do not know?
That's correct.
Good.
But he did know Cornbread, and I knew that he knew Cornbread, and I told him that you were a part of that. And then I also said that you were a Tito's OG, which is very true. And there's probably 30 of us. Like, how many people would you say? Like,
I would say smaller than that. Like, just a happy hour crew of
you can make a list.
There's probably 30 may be a good number.
Yeah.
I mean that we may be scrambling to pick after 15.
That's right.
But
you can find them.
Yeah, exactly.
You can find them, and you're definitely one of those guys, and I'm definitely one of those guys.
Yeah.
And
Glory
Jimmy
Hole Gang.
is like, Glory Hole Gang. GHG.
The Glory Hole Gang.
As Theo Bond would say, gang gang.
God, he's something else, man.
Oh, he's like one of the most original thinkers.
He's hilarious. Like, his thought processes are otherworldly.
And the way he like expresses it, the way he talks about it, comes out in a whole different way than you could ever.
Yeah, like he'll explain something as an original thought that he's never had before, that is something that's just absolutely common to everybody else.
That's right, and it's just coming out.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh man, he's like, oh, I don't even think I've ever even thought about this before, and it's like, dude, are you talking about a drive-through?
Right. Yeah.
Like, oh, dude, yeah.
We should have just had a thing where you could just drive up and order it.
Yeah.
That's him.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's funny. So, but Tito's is like this own little like microcosm of Merle's Inlet.
It really is.
Which is a microcosm of like the Grand Strand in a weird but better way.
Yeah, we're definitely the cool cousin of Myrtle Beach.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. So that was actually something that really came into my mind. Like, repack wasn't really like something I wanted to talk about, but shout out again. But so I moved from Myrtle Beach to Merle's Inlet permanently a year ago. So July 1st of 18.
Glad to have you in the hood, man. Out of Myrtle proper.
Back. And I was in Myrtle proper. Like, I was on 46th Avenue.
That's proper. On
the ocean, like, good little, like,
yeah.
Not a well-appointed crib, but a nice enough crib.
I mean, you on oceanfront.
Half a mile to Pine Lakes Tavern.
Say no more.
Bourbon Street, where kind of like my Tito's and Bubba's or whatever.
That's where the crew. That's where the crew be.
Yeah, that's where you assemble at 5:30.
Indeed.
Also, where I got to know Jeff Thomas and Jen, that were episode 4-2.
Yep, Jackie Robinson.
Yep, that's right. 43 minus 1.
Yeah, 43 minus 1. Richard Petty today.
But this is like just a better vibe for me where we are. So
How are the bar crowds?
the bar crowds are great. Also, so
It seems much older or much more our age, I say, in Myrtle proper
yes.
than here now.
So yeah, so Myrtle proper is, you have like Hurricane Maggie's, Jimmigans. I'm trying to like work my way down.
Yeah.
Bourbon Street, Pine Lakes Tavern. There's probably a few in there that I'm missing.
Liberty.
Yeah, Liberty, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's like
That area.
that stretch.
Yeah.
So it's a fun crowd, and you can find your little niche. And my niche happened to be, Bourbon Street mostly, and also Pine Lakes Tavern.
Played some ping pong in there, did you?
Yeah, I played a lot of ping pong. One of my favorite things about playing ping pong, and I was just telling this weekend watching Wimbledon, is like the people. So I'll be in there playing ping pong. You're gonna love this.
That's my favorite thing about ping pong. I was just thinking about as I was watching Wimbledon the other day.
So yeah, we were just watching. I forget who Djokovic was playing on Saturday in the semifinal. Nadal, I think.
I'm no good on
Anyway, whatever. So I used to watch a lot of tennis when I was a kid. So anyway, and the girls especially. So I'll be in Bourbon Street during happy hour, and it's like quiet, and they're playing like beach music and stuff. But I'll be back there on the ping pong table. I'm still making these like really aggressive, like power grunts. Yeah, and like people. So Bourbon Street has this kind of divider wall where you can't really see the ping pong table from the bar.
Yes, they do.
So people are just hearing all this racket from around the corner. And anyway, that's this leads me into social media.
Okay, so we decided to forego bullet points on this one because we want to make this more of a free for all. I think as far as content goes. The one thing that we had planned that we were going to discuss was social media and the downfall of humanity because of it.
Yeah, so as I've been thinking about like how we're going to like talk shit about social media, I've kind of been coming up with like some like pros to it too, which is
There's nothing wrong with that.
And I should have like run this by you probably.
No, fuck it. I'd rather be.
But
Joe
so I've been
Rogan
like having these like little like. That's kind of a good thing about it, but there's also a lot of bad things about it.
So you're doing the mental pros and cons.
Yeah. I'm just kind of. Well, I was trying to just list all cons.
Yeah.
Because that was kind of what we were kind of aiming for, but then I started like.
Oh, there's no particular aim.
A handful of pros, but so.
What's up, Brian Jordan? Got Brian Jordan on.
Oh, Chief Senior. That's all Chief Senior.
Chief Senior.
So the way that the ping pong correlates to this is, I like to get my validation through making people laugh.
Yes.
And I feel like people on social media like to get their validation through likes, etc. on social media.
Yeah.
But then sometimes I like to make people laugh on social media, so it's like a whole
double entendre.
Yeah, how's that go? Where does that leave me?
Where
does that leave me?
But see, you're not cash.
Not in a negative way.
Not at all. I mean, that leaves you in a good spot, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, you're using this platform to do what you do in your actual life.
Day to day. That's right.
My biggest qualm with it is that people use that platform to be someone completely different than they are in their life.
Correct. And get validation for that.
Yes.
Persona.
Yes.
And not their own persona. That's right.
I was saying this the other day about somebody who will remain nameless. I'm like, dude, I wish this person was just that person in real life.
Right.
They would be so much fucking
And they know how to do it. They just can't do it.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have the ability to do this.
Yeah, you know the traits. These are the traits you're putting out there.
These things you're typing are coming from your fucking head.
Yeah, why don't you just do that?
Do that all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, just start that at like, you don't even have to start early. Start at like 10 a.m. doing that.
That's fine. You live your other life from whatever time you wake up till 10.
That's right. That's right. Sleep
Give me,
through the bad part.
and you know what? I'll let you go back to that person at 10.
Even better. 10 to 10.
Yeah, just 10 to 10 will be
Good life.
fine.
Yeah.
Just be that person you are online for those hours.
Give it 12.
Yeah, exactly.
Hashtag give it 12.
Hashtag give it 12.
Not that bad.
Not that, dude. We should go that. Start that right now, Patrick Hanna.
Patrick. Hashtag give it 12. Got it.
Got it. Nailed it. So, but seriously though, that was my major qualm. But you were saying that there are things that are not a qualm. Like you were using this as a.
So the few positives, I would say that. So this was a story that I thought about when I was thinking about social media being a negative. I have a cousin who is currently hiking the Appalachian Trail, and from time to time he can pop in and out of Wi-Fi or whatever. And so my aunt, his mom, was in town about 3 weeks ago, and so he and I were messaging. He had posted a picture on Snapchat of like some beautiful vista across some mountains in Virginia or something. And so I texted him like, "That's awesome. By the way, I'm sitting here on the beach with your mom." 10 minutes later, he's live video feeding back and forth with his mom on my Snapchat. Like that's a positive social media.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
That is
and
cool.
His mom called it Chap Snap, which made it funny. Like, how do I download this Chap Snap? But she didn't need to download it. She got her like 5 minutes of FaceTime with her son.
Yeah.
He was like out on this like, adventure in the wilderness.
In the woods.
Yeah, and she hasn't talked to him for probably 3 weeks or so. And so, that's a thing, like a positive that comes.
That is cool.
That was great. I felt like I'd facilitated a pretty cool thing. And I'm an old guy. And I made a young person thing with an old person thing. And it was nice.
Did you feel like that was the universe trying to say, you know what, we're really not that bad?
Yeah, like pretty much. Like this guy, we're doing good things, even though there's a couple of bad things. I think overall things are okay.
Well, the same could be said for fucking weapons.
True.
Like they're not all gonna kill people in mass quantities.
That's right.
A few of them are gonna protect somebody. You know, I mean, it's all perception is everything.
That's right. There's a hero weapon here and there.
Absolutely, here and there. I mean, we don't hear near much about them as we do other ones, but
they're around.
Speaking of which, total side note, did you see the new video that was released from the Vegas thing yesterday?
No, I did not.
There was a new video released from a different angle.
Like brutal?
No, like it was. Dude, to be honest with you, man, the video that I saw, this new one just seemed to just discount everything else that's being said even more. But that's a whole nother.
Okay. Wait, what do you mean discount?
Like it just seems like everything that I was hearing, like you look down and you would think that if there were, I don't know how this shit works. You would think that with the amount of gunfire that there was, you would have seen like a trailer or something get hit.
Oh, right.
Through this video, and this video was like somebody went to a hotel room to probably bootleg this show, and they were filming from a side view, and like it got the whole like the crowd and everything, and like them spilling out into everything.
And you could hear the shots.
Yes, you could hear the shots and everything, but I'm looking at the crowd and the ground, and I don't like see any evidence of bullets striking anything, but not like I don't know how that works. But one would think that you would catch a little bit of crossfire and something that would spark, or like especially that you're hearing those gunshots go off so fast.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go down that road. I was just we're talking about weapons, and I was fresh in the memory bank.
Well, I mean, social media is a weapon, bro.
Oh man, my favorite weapon, brand new.
Damn.
What?
Oh. Forgot.
Oh man, we're going into pockets here.
I got a present for you.
Oh man, everybody brings presents now.
And I had another one, and I think I either left it in the parking lot at work or on my desk. But I'll bring I'll bring the better present.
This is probably Tito's. This is going on the computer.
The better present will come next week, and it's a vinyl, and I think it's a 3-set vinyl. Of something that lame that you and I share an affinity for. and I'll let that. And you probably know what it is already, but I'll just let that lie.
Oh man.
So anyway, and I had it in my hands, and I was leaving work, and like a guy came in at the last minute. I got distracted, and I had another box. You know how it goes.
I do,
And so I got home, and I like popped the trunk, and I knew it was gonna be in there, and it just wasn't. So hopefully, I'll be bringing that back by.
dude. So
I wanted
just
to present that to you tonight.
to let the world know, me and Wes share a taste in music that not many people can appreciate.
It's like teen angst.
Yeah,
It's also Wu-Tang, but especially the
emo,
the teeny angst.
just
Like 2003-ish.
oh
genre.
emo. I'll
Yeah,
dude, I've been going down that road hard lately.
man, it was all in like the big like cardboard, square box. And I'm just gonna hand it to you and let you open it, and I fucking forgot it.
Oh man, dude. Well,
But you'll get it back. Get it back.
I'm very excited because I think I know what it probably is.
You do. It's great. Anyway,
I do love records.
I know, and that was like the whole gesture. But
That's cool, man.
you'll maybe you can play as an intro on James's episode.
Oh, dude, does James get down with the?
No,
Yeah, he
No.
probably doesn't like that at
no,
all.
that's not his thing.
What
But
is
yeah,
James like?
James likes.
He really likes like Neil Diamond.
I was just gonna say he's a yacht rocker.
He likes Neil Diamond.
Neil
and
Diamond,
Big Hall and Oates.
Hall and Oates. What's his name?
A lot of one hit wonders.
Michael McDonald, huge Michael McDonald guy.
His music knowledge is like pretty strong.
You know what? One of his greatest traits. You can name any movie from like let's call it 78 to 1998, and he can tell you what theater he saw it in and who he was sitting with. And I'm talking like you can go like 30 plus years back, and he can be like, oh yeah, I saw that movie with Mickey and his brother, and we were at the Triplex in Savannah, not the new one, the old one, and and just like be like,
You got that recall?
and there was this lady sitting behind, yeah, just like any movie, try it on him.
It's funny how those like people store memories.
Yeah. Well, so I always say I have a bad memory, and I think it's a blessing.
Why do you think so?
Well, so this was fun. I was actually thinking about this today. So for one, I can go back and watch like The Wire or like Breaking Bad.
I forgot that.
Or like any episode of any like great show, and I'll kind of know the gist, but I'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot. Like, oh wait, what's gonna happen?
You get to see everything for the first time every time.
And also, you forget about bad things that happen. So it's not great for remembering good things that happen, like fun memories in college and stuff. Like guys are always like, don't you remember we did this and that and that? I'm like, no, but I kind of do, but it sounds fun and funny, but the bad stuff you just forget.
That's
eventually
cool.
It just wipes away.
See, I'm one of those people that remember everything.
Yeah.
Like, and I can't forget anything, and that's a curse as well. Like,
It's
I do get to
both
remember all of the good things.
Yeah,
but I
right.
remember all of the bad things
Yeah,
too.
either is either. Yeah, it can go both ways. But it's great for like good series on TV.
Dude, I wish I could do that. Like, I feel so bad. I feel so bad for myself, but so excited and jealous of other people when I tell them about a show that they haven't seen yet, and I'm like, oh my god, you get to experience this for the first time.
Starting over, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's hard.
I love that. That's the end of my thought. I got nothing else on that.
So like, I'm just thinking about The Wire in general. Like,
I haven't seen that yet.
oh man, it's the best. I mean, I have a feeling like now. I feel like you would have had to have seen it, maybe not like in like real time, but in the first like 5-ish years that it came out for it to be like to really hold up. I think it would still.
So there's
hold
like
up.
a lot of like time sensitive.
Not
things
even
that
necessarily
happen, maybe.
time sensitive, but it just kind of like the gang violence thing. I feel like is not really
as
on the
prevalent.
radar now as much as it was, 10 years ago. And shoot, that show.
You think so? Do you think not?
I mean,
Probably.
I think it's still a thing, but I think it's been so like kind of dramatized or like put out there that we're not really,
it's not too much on our radar anymore.
And we kind of know, like, I've never been around it.
Yeah.
And I assume maybe in Marlboro County.
I mean, Bennettsville's a rough place, but we didn't.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot of like. There was a guy right after 9/11 that wrote Osama bin Laden is a god.
Oh.
He spray painted it on a fence outside of his house.
In Bennettsville?
Yep.
Ooh.
On the street I grew up on.
That's brave. Like on his own fence?
Yep.
Oh. How'd that go over?
Not very well. I wonder. I might can. Go down a random road of thought, and I'm going to see if I can find that article.
So, no, I think I was talking about gang violence, and so the wire kind of like wraps around the, like an inner city drug trade, and how that spurs gang violence. Brooke told me that you were going to do this thing where you like type some stuff and may or may not be listening.
No, well, gang violence.
But you told me to do this. You told me to do this, but it's just pretty funny.
Brooke said he might like turn to the computer and he's not really listening to you or whatever. But like, how could he fucking remember?
It's exactly. No, I think he was. I think he was affected by it. But no, it's just one of the, and then it's like how like the kids are affected by it, how the blue collar workers are affected by it. And every season kind of takes a different angle of it, and in the end, it's just completely heartbreaking. But it's like eye opening for a middle class white kid that at the time was living in Colombia, like totally unaffected by it. So,
I believe it's going on more there technically than other places. Like, isn't that pretty accurate, you think?
Yeah, I would think. I mean, I think that's what drives it. Maybe not completely drives it, but that's like, part of the engine is like just middle class kids just looking to have a good time.
I'm still thinking about fucking Brooke. I'm like, he's probably lost.
So
what is he doing?
He was like, man, he's just gonna be typing on some stuff and like clicking on some things, and you're not gonna be sure if he's really listening to you or not.
It's so funny to hear that from that viewpoint.
But it's kind of intimidating when you're just sitting here talking into this microphone by yourself and not really like.
Are you telling me
any feedback? No, I know, but you're really good at it. And
no, I'm not.
No, but Alicia and I were just talking about this. A. Brown, T. Brown's wife.
Yeah.
That like what a good storyteller you are, and how you are really good at keeping this thing on track and keeping like a dialogue going.
Well,
because I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be nervous. Soon I can talk shit all day at Tito's. Or in my office or on the phone with my friend, but as soon as there's a microphone shoved in your face,
everybody does.
Like, how does this go?
Everybody feels the same way, and the only thing is, I feel like, and I guess maybe if I'm not touching this so much, or you sort of forget this is here.
That's right,
and that's what I want to.
Well, with me and you, that's easy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
because I was
we're
also
pros at this.
Well, you and I, like, we could just sit here and be like, hey, it's Kelsey, and you'd be like,
oh,
hey,
shit,
it's
Shitface.
And I'd be like, hey, look at Beardo.
Not my strawberry pepperoni milkshake.
I forgot about my old Greek pizza over here.
Yo, alfalfa sprouts and
See, we could just balsamic. That's what we were gonna do for like the last like 4 7-minute segments.
We'll save all the nonsense for then.
We'll give it a minute.
Give it a few minutes. But yeah. So like, I don't know. I don't want to. I like to tell stories. I like to be detailed. I like to not leave any information unturned. I like to share information. And I feel like if I have that information, that it's foolish of me not to share every aspect of it. And I don't know. I feel like sometimes that makes me annoying.
It's not.
Maybe not on the microphone or on here when you choose to listen to it, but if it's somebody who's like with me all the time and I can't turn that off, it'll maybe like I know for sure Chief got the brunt of that mostly because I'm just sitting here like I can't see someone do something differently than the way in which I would do it and not say something.
Right. Like you should try this.
Yeah, and it's not like I'm trying to say do it my way's the best. It's just like
annoying, but
I've gone through the process of a lot of these things that you're doing.
Yeah.
And I can
try
help
it this way.
Yeah, try this a little. Oh, there we go.
Well, hold on. Don't pause it.
No, we're not pausing. We're gonna still roll. We still got a couple of live watching. Uh-oh.
It's so old girl's chiming in.
Uh-oh.
Old girl's chiming in. So she actually works in social media.
Uh-huh.
And she just chimed in a positive, a pro that it pays her mortgage. So
speaking of which,
yeah.
Is it old girl?
Yeah, old girl.
I love old girl.
Old girl's cool.
Old girl's cool as shit.
Yeah, old girl's cool.
Old girl's cool.
And she's in social media.
I saw today that she was putting on the professor hat.
Oh yeah, she did a thing for some university, like Q&A with a student, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she manages social media accounts for a bunch of different companies. And
that's something that I would never have thought would have been a job title that is so awesome that it is.
Yeah, so like you and I like just manage our social media, like my profile, that's me. But now you have to do it for like somebody else and what they think, what you think their image is, or what they want you to make their image be.
Exactly.
You know? So it'd be like if you were like running my Facebook.
Oh man, I'd be so good at that.
Dude, we would be hilarious.
I'd just go into character. I'm so good at going into character.
You just go into Wes Standish.
No, I can't. You're here. I can't. Like, you know, it's like, you know how, you know.
Oh, I get it.
We can't when you're here.
But
and
I couldn't do it.
I don't even know if I could when you're not here.
You could do it. You could do it.
Because, you know, a lot of the shit that I've been doing over the years has just been pieces of you and Brian Jordan and Will. And those bits are just, every little bit that I do, I just steal from y'all.
But that's like what we are at Tito's though, is like one big like skit show.
That's
like,
all it is, dude. If there were ever a perfect, like, and I wouldn't what would you compare it to? Like a sketch? If there were any, that crew back in the day, if you would have put a few cameras up in there, back then, like we would at least be bigger than the Impractical Jokers thing. And I'm not. Definitely. It's not like we were doing that style of comedy at all, but it was just
slapstick stupid.
It's so good, and everybody was so quick. Everybody was so fast. Like if
whatever the topic is,
and the first one to break loses.
And and we're just gonna cover it.
Yeah,
we're just gonna cover it.
Yeah,
and completely ridiculous. But yeah, it's like who can make who laugh the hardest.
Exactly.
That was like the contest.
It would be like a bunch of comics backstage.
That's right, basically.
Yeah,
100%. Show up.
And none of us are comics, but we're all comics.
Yeah, like we're not really that funny, but when you get us together and start feeding off each other,
it's unstoppable.
Pretty funny. And that's like the magic of T-Dubs. That's why T-Dubs is still a thing.
I'm jealous that we'll never get to experience that from the outside. We'll never get to see what that is.
That's right.
Because we're in it.
And it'll never happen again.
Never.
Like
never. Yeah, never. It's
not
back then
at least.
Nah, back then everybody was like, I mean, now everybody's grown and kids and married and I mean
there's still your good laugh over there, but it's not like that. It's not like good, just original, just come out of nowhere. Talk about nothing.
We'll never be able to walk into Tito's with a fucking fire extinguisher.
That's right.
Blasting people.
No reason. Yeah.
Giving us all bronchitis for like a fucking month.
Now Tito's would just close down forever if that happened.
Yeah. Just be like, you know what? We don't need this riff raff around here anymore. We won't turn this into a boutique.
The fire marshal will get involved
again.
the fire marshal would get involved.
Dude, we got away with so much shit in there. Like the only time the floor got swept was when somebody fell and we had to pick them up. Like,
yeah, just off their shirt.
Yeah, and every day Stoney will walk in. God damn, it's my just so dirty in here. And then Stoney would go in the back and grab like a broom and a mop and start in like one corner, and then be like, "All right, I got to go. Once you finish this,
get about a quarter of the way through it.
Yeah,
a beer and a shot, and he's out.
All right, I got to go." Which is those were the days though, man. Like, to think back, I'm like, I did not give a shit at all. I don't think any of us did.
No,
but until it was like 4:00 and I was probably still asleep.
Well, right, and we were mostly out of there well ahead of that. But
yeah,
you know, we all had less to lose back then.
A lot less.
It was like we were all like busting our ass, but come like 6, 7 o'clock at night, it was like, let's relax and have fun.
We were on inverted schedules, me and y'all.
That's right.
The fact that I would like sleep while y'all were working, and then I would show up.
Yeah.
And then I just felt like I wasn't able to be part of this because I was working. So I just said, okay, well, maybe I'm just not working.
Yeah, let's just keep going.
Maybe I'm just the guy that's back here drinking with y'all that just so happens to be in control of giving you this stuff.
Well, yeah, you're not only like you're not only working, but you're also entertaining. It's like you're like.
I was always doing more of one than the other.
Yeah, it's like if you're having people at your house.
Yeah, I was a host.
You're like handing beers, but you're also like facilitating everything that's going on in there.
Which I'll cover this, James, in your episode. I want to formally apologize for giving so much shit away. I think you already
did this in one episode.
I'm sure I did. Like, I just felt so bad for charging people for like it's just all my friends that were in there, and I was like, you know what? I got you today.
Yeah, you're not trying
to
make $1 off a friend.
Like, not, but you know what I would do at the end of every shift, and I think I did say this in a podcast, is I would take every bit of money that I had in the tip jar and I would just ring up a tab and I'd put it all back in the drawer. Like, I did that every night, pretty much.
What do you mean?
Like all of my tips that I would make, I would be like, I got this much money here. I was like, I know I gave a lot of shit away, so I would count up my tips, and I would run up a tab of however much that was, and just put all that back in the drawer.
Perfect.
I felt guilty about taking money because I wasn't like putting a whole lot back into
fair.
So, you know, I was trying, in my mind, that was what I was doing to make good on that, which I still like buy DVDs and Blu-rays and shit to make up for all the years that I illegally downloaded shit.
See? And now you're just paying them back.
Putting it back into the system.
And then you quit drinking.
Then I fucking...
Which I'm actually very proud of you for.
I fucked everybody.
Like, you're just not, like, repaying Tito's at all.
Not anymore.
That whole idea.
Not anymore. But, you know what? I retired the motherfucking champ.
You did. You killed it.
I had the heavyweight belt.
You went in. You just annihilated the whole game, and then you were out.
Yeah. I was Michael Jordan? No. Bill Russell?
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell. I was Kurt Russell,
You're
man.
The Kurt Russell of alcoholism. No, well, I mean, I'm very serious when I say that. I'm very proud of you because you like knocked that out. Because you were
it needed to go.
As a Wu-Tang reference, the Osiris of that shit.
Oh man.
And
no shit.
And you kind of just like you just made it a priority and you're out of it, which is awesome. I've had some moments where I've been like, am I an alcoholic? I like to drink, obviously. And
if you start to ask the question,
yeah, that's right. But I've asked the right people several times, and I've always come down on the side of no. And I also I try to maintain one day a week that I can go to Tito's. Since I've moved down to Merle's Inlet,
yeah,
I'm like,
this is a hard place to not drink.
I can only go to Tito's one day a week because otherwise I'll go to Tito's every day of the week.
Yeah,
and then on the weekends, of course, like that's a whole
yeah. Weekends are free for all.
Yeah, so then it's like
or not a free for all, but
I'm just not gonna go there every day just in case I am alcoholic. Like
well, do you drink at home at all?
Never.
Yeah, same here. I never drank.
Like, that's not fun for me. I'm very like social, obviously. Like
Yeah.
get into the mix.
You feel like
have
it's
a
an
good
issue
time.
if you are drinking at home.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
See, like that.
But you still did that then?
Yeah, I never drink at home.
Even then?
Mm-mm.
That's crazy.
Like if there were people over here, and
Yeah, of course.
I would.
there's
I
people
never
around.
drank alone.
That's right.
I never drank alone.
Yeah, like I have beers in the refrigerator at my house from, 4th of July, and I don't know what today is, but
Yeah.
not that that's that long ago, but
Oh, that's a pretty good
if it
stretch.
was and they'll sit there until somebody comes over to watch a football game or something.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just even with all the liquors and shit that's in the freezer, that was always the case.
Right.
Here, because I would I never felt the need to I didn't wake up and oh shit, I have to have something to drink here. But I would definitely not waste any time before I went to Tito's.
Show up
every
over there
single
at
day.
4:00 and go.
Yeah. But see, the thing is, I would start drinking with y'all at 4:00, and I would go shot for shot with everybody.
That's right. And then
all
we
day
go home
long.
at 9:00 or whatever, 8, whatever.
And then I'd stay till daylight.
And you catch on to the next crew and the next crew. Yeah.
There were shifts in Tito's that I went shot for shot with everybody in the bar that day, like multiple shifts.
See, and that's wild. And unhealthy and unsustainable.
Yeah.
All of that.
Dude, that's what made me gain all the fucking weight, dude.
Right.
Listen, y'all ain't even know.
Shoot.
Shit.
I remember a spelt Kelsey boy.
I'm telling you, man, I walk up in that bitch. I'm telling you what Rumplemints will do to your ass is fucking. It ain't good, man. Rumplemints and then Waffle House and then sleep and then get a phone call and then back to Tito's and then Wild Turkey 101s with Henry and the boys from Seven Seas.
Right.
Sponsored by 7 Seas Seafood.
Oh, yeah. 7 Seas Seafood. Keeping it real. Keeping it fresh.
Keeping it trill.
I do have one qualm with 7 Seas.
I've
had this argument with a couple of people. So their motto is from the boat to your throat. But I feel like it should be from our boat to your throat. And it's a very minor detail. But I just feel like it rolls off the tongue. It's more of a
from our boat to your throat.
From the boat to your throat.
Maybe it would be from the boat to the throat.
Yeah, from the boat to the throat. Either one, you'd have to change one or the other.
Because I could just hear my redneck family going from the boat to the throat.
From the boat to the throat.
That just rolls off nice.
From the boat to Marlboro County.
From the Bulldogs game back to the house.
Back to the house. From the boat to the throat.
Sponsored by WBSC 1550 AM.
7 Seas Seafood. Keeping it raw. Maybe try that.
7 Seas Seafood. Put some ice on it. See, this is what happens.
Yeah.
This is the legend.
Yeah, 7 Seas Seafood. If you like it, then you should have thrown the ice on it. No, let me work on that one.
7 Seas Seafood. Hey, man, our ice machine's still broke. Can I come down and grab a cooler full of ice? Yeah, man, just don't let the old man see you do it.
Yeah, but their ice is kind of like...
R.I.P. Phil.
R.I.P. Phil. Their ice is kind of raw and not so clear.
It looks like scale.
It's like shards of ice.
There were people that used to I ain't gonna. They would only drink beers. They wouldn't drink any mixed drinks when we would get ice from down there.
See?
Just because in their minds, they were like,
oh, it's not like a clean liquor drink.
I mean, it was.
Yeah, I guess.
It was.
I mean, depending on how clean the ice maker is.
It was, it was clean.
Probably pretty clean.
It was pretty clean.
That's a big ass ice maker.
It's a fucking giant ice maker. It's the size of this room, and
I'm
not exaggerating.
But it's like shards of
yeah, it's
cloudy white ice and not nice shiny
clear
ice.
Now, when we were getting the ice from the little ice machine that was right next to the 7 Seas, and we were filling that cooler up with a little pellet like the Sonic ice.
You drink a liquor drink out of that.
Oh man, I drink the fuck out of some liquor drinks out of that.
Anybody would.
Everybody always did.
You don't drink a lot of liquor drinks.
I when I was drinking liquor, I thought it best to just do the shots. I like the shots and water. That was
a beer?
I never really drank beer, dude. I could drink 2 beers and be fucked up.
Just
sloppy.
Ease into it.
Yeah, but I mean, I could pound rumple or shots, any shot all day long and just pound water. then I'd be fine. But if I drank just a couple of beers, I'd be done.
I should probably like throw a couple waters into my repertoire every now and then.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of water, man.
Yeah.
That does wonders for your kidneys, man. I was always so terrified of kidney stones.
Did you have any kidney trouble?
Not that I can, not that I can really remember.
Yeah.
But then again, I got it all out of my system when I was in my 20s. So like, I feel like your body is basically indestructible until you hit 30.
Right.
And so like I
got it all out.
I quit before I turned 30.
Right.
So I was like, I don't know. I would drink so much water. I talked to my granddad who has cirrhosis, and he was like, he drank like an unnatural amount of water all the time. And I do the same thing, just an unnatural amount of water all day long, and I always have. And I think that like kept my kidneys in a good place. Like I never, like I said, I was always terrified of kidney stones. Like I heard sweet tea would give you kidney stones, and I was like, fuck, now I don't really do that as much as I did. They did start having Milo's gallon tea at Walmart. Milo's is Alabama's like the cookout of Alabama.
Right.
Like,
and they sell it at Walmart now?
Oh yeah. Gallon iced tea, Milo's.
Well, I feel like maybe if you drink, one sweet tea, one water,
Yeah, it'll even out.
Yeah,
it'll even out.
And I feel like if you hadn't had a kidney stone, how old are you? I don't even know.
32. I'll be 32 in October.
Yeah, young fella.
Young buck. I'm the baby.
Yeah, but if you didn't have a kidney stone until now, it seems like
way younger than all these other fucks. Way younger.
Man.
A lot younger. By years.
I'm old. Like I'm starting to have like aches and stuff.
Yeah.
It's bad, man. It's really bad. But I never had a kidney stone. Knock on that.
You better not. On wood. Wu-Tang.
I don't think that's wood.
Sure, here's some.
Oh, good. I don't think that's wood either.
That chair that you're sitting in is 100%
That's
wood. Ed Wood. Holly Wood. Carrie Under.
Ooh, nice one.
Yeah,
nice one.
That was a cheat though, because I saw her on a music video earlier. I was watching music videos while we were playing at Tin Roof.
Oh, is that where you were tonight? I was going to ask you. I couldn't. So, like you said, like when I get off work, and I wasn't sure what that meant.
Nothing. I have to say work so that people don't look at me like a bum.
But
like,
it's still work.
You heard that episode where I'm like, people don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have to say work so that people aren't like, oh, well, I'm going to play music at a place tonight for a couple of hours and they're going to pay me to do it. Like
that sounds like work. You're doing something.
Yeah, it's work.
So Tin Roof is nice, right?
Yeah, it's really cool.
How did you like playing in that that spot?
It was cool. It got a lot better as the night went on.
Later, yeah.
I think that maybe for the happy hour,
not so much
slot, it might not be the best idea for them to keep music there. It'd probably be a waste of money for them, which I'm not gonna complain about.
Keep it coming, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's my job to do what's right for the bar and for the venue. So like,
I agree with that.
I would say that. It came the time when we were supposed to we should have taken a break if we were going to take one.
Right.
But it seemed like the crowd started piling in at right about that time. So I was like, fuck it, we're just going to play through and we'll stop a little early, take our break at the end.
I think I've been there 3 times, maybe 4. My friend in Columbia dates their manager, or their marketing manager for the area. So I'm trying to make a point to, show up there or something. And every time it's been a happy hour and there's been live music, and I've just been outside,
you're not concerned with the music,
not at all. Outside enjoying. There's an ocean right there.
Yeah.
There's a nice vibe out there. It's great. It's a nice setup. But yeah, and there's music, but I'm not I don't even have one ear on it. I'm just
No, I would say too that's probably because the way this bar is set up that we're talking about is there's a little outside tiki bar kind of, if you will, like a deck bar almost, where most people hang out.
Yes.
And then there's an inside bar with a giant stage that's on the complete opposite side of this building.
And that's for live music.
And it's great for at night or whatever, when you've got the light show and something to attract people's attention.
Watch a band and enjoy it.
Yeah, sure. And but I would say for other places like that, any place that has like an outside bar that has happy hour music, I would always suggest that they have their artist there.
Yeah.
Like just a solo guy or a duo or whatever
Sitting on a stool in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And not only that, I think that'd be better for everybody involved. You don't have your musicians sitting on stage looking out at the crowd like these people do not give a fuck that we're here at all.
Right.
And that's miserable for a musician.
That's awful.
And not only that, but as a business owner, it's like you guys are paying good money to have us stand here and be miserable right now. So we're going to do it gladly. But it'd be better for all parties involved if you'd like, I wouldn't even mind bringing my own system to set up where people are going to give a fuck. Like I'll do the extra little bit of work, which is totally fine with me.
Right. You, a couple speakers.
Absolutely.
Your whole deal.
Well, dude, I got this Bose system now, man. That's like everything like plugs in together. There's no cables or anything. This shit is
really
great. My load in is one trip. If I use a cart and I'm set up in literally 5 minutes. We pulled up. There was this place called Twigs. I don't know if you listened to that episode where we were in Boone, and Scott Bird called me and was screaming at me because we were late. And I was like, I kind of snapped on him, and I was like, dude, we're gonna get there. We realized that we're late. Right. We're fucking gonna get there. So we showed up 5 minutes till 9 when we were supposed to start playing, and we were playing at 9:05. Like we pulled into the parking lot 5 minutes till. We were inside set up, and I was strumming my guitar.
Throw it together and go.
Yeah, within 10 minutes of pulling into the parking lot.
That's crazy.
We don't fuck around.
That's awesome, though.
I'm one of those people that doesn't like to waste unnecessary energy.
Right.
I want to get. I don't want to get there and like use my energy talking to people and doing things that I really don't care to do. Not to be a dick, but I don't want to talk to those people.
Yeah, but so like to the same point, like the unnecessary energy is also you playing on a stage and nobody's paying any attention. You don't want to do that
Absolutely.
Either. Yeah.
There's a little bit of warrant to that as like, okay, well, I'm getting paid to be here.
Well, sure, for you.
For me personally, I'm getting paid to be here from say 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. But usually if you're going to be paid for exactly, if you're going to be paid from 6 to 9, usually that means you're going to have to show up to this place a half hour to an hour before, and I'm not that kind of person. I would rather just show up a few minutes before I'm supposed to play, bust ass and getting everything set up quick, play the gig. I don't even care to take a break. I like to play music. I would rather just play. And I want to do that and then just get the fuck out a few minutes early. The bartenders appreciate that because they're always ready to go home at the end of the night. And the bar owners, when I say, hey, it looked a little busy when I was about to take a break, so I figured I'd just play through and keep the crowd. And everybody loves that. People like, there's a few places where they want to turn tables or whatnot. And so, I'll have to like stop for a little bit. But other than that, I like that. I totally just hijacked that, by the way, when I started talking about music.
No, but that's right.
I'm passionate.
He is. He's a passionate artist. With a Pepsi hat on.
Tyler Brown.
TB.
Tyler Brown got this hat, and we made this.
Wait, where did he get it? I want to know where he got it.
I don't know, but we were doing. I was running sound for him, and Adam did this little like documentary thing. Like it's a spoof, but it's fucking great. And he's wearing this hat, and I was like, dude, that hat is the best thing about this whole the whole thing. He's like, here, man, take the hat. I was like,
see, that's a gentleman.
Tyler Brown's good fucking people. He made the artwork for the My Stuff artwork.
Also, Brackfoot.
He made Brackfoot.
Yeah, not based on you.
Brackfoot is real, not based on me. What's so funny is they drew this whole thing out and totally didn't even think about it. And then you look at it and it's like...
he and I just had this conversation.
That's me.
Before I came here.
And he's like...
on the door at Tito's.
It's just totally not me, but it's totally me.
Yeah, it's
but it's not.
It's not. But after the fact, it is.
After the fact, it's like the evidence is so against it not being.
It should be.
But no, it's not me.
It's not you.
Brackfoot is real though.
Yeah.
Brackfoot. Look up Brackfoot. Shout out to Brackfoot. If Tyler Brown may be watching.
He's in your neighborhood. Brackfoot is in your neighborhood.
Brackfoot is. You know what, man? He just doesn't catch a good break.
Poor Brackfoot.
Poor Brack.
It's like if you were a car mechanic and you've been working on cars your whole life, and just one day randomly you went home and you lost a finger. You know, that's Brackfoot's luck.
That's it, man. You
That's
know what? Out of all these
luck.
years that I've been doing this,
I've been working on cars. Brackfoot just working on it, and the next thing you know.
Brackfoot's a bartender, by the way. See, Brack's just working the bar, you know. He's just working the bar, and then all of a sudden, it's like this jerk just comes and sits down at the bar, and just a dick.
Yeah.
Brack didn't work his whole life in the bars for this.
Not to serve this guy.
Not to serve this jerk.
Poor Brackfoot.
Poor Brack.
It's like if Repack was a bartender.
It's like if Repack were a bartender and he just got his finger cut off after all these years of doing this thing. You know, he's bartending, he's cutting limes for years.
And now look at him.
He's cut limes for years and he just got too close once.
Those knives are sharp, bro.
Those knives are sharp. Repack, have you seen the finger that you cut off yet?
It's only a matter of time.
Speaking of a matter of time, what's your? I know you have.
Oh man,
I know you have life.
It's 12:07. How did that happen?
In the mornings.
How
about?
I'm not gonna say AM or PM. I don't want to give it away for the people listening on a podcast.
Yeah, because we don't want anybody to know what time it is now.
This is timeless.
We don't want you to know what time it is.
But there's no light coming through the windows like there was when Jeff and Jen were recording the other day.
Oh yeah, because this is the same studio that we used in.
Yeah, I like it.
Everybody says that, or not everybody. Smitty said that I should like declutter the thing a little bit.
No.
But I'm like, I think that this is more like, you know how NPR does the tiny desk thing.
Yeah, this is it.
This is it. Like, there's so much shit to look at.
You're kind of. It's not like too cramped, but it's cramped. I'm in a rocking chair.
It's
and
cozy.
I was told not to rock, but can y'all hear that?
You can rock.
I want to make sure I can hear that. It's comfortable though.
It is a comfortable chair. I did offer you a pillow. I didn't realize it until the other day when Jen and Jeff were here. Jen said, "I don't think I want to sit in that chair for as long as I would have to sit in it."
She sat in a bar stool the whole time.
Yeah, well, I think because of the she didn't want to sit on the hard seat.
I like a rocking chair.
Rocking chair is cool, man.
There's a ukulele. Let me just describe the scene here.
Take them down a road.
Excuse me. So you walk into Kelsey's abode here, and it's nice. There's a you know what? It's nice except for there's this weird little studio in the corner.
Yes, there's this. It's like this is a normal house, but there's microphones and a table and a computer.
There's these weird little things sticking up. There's this camera over there that may or may not be working. There's this whole thing with that camera. Kelsey has a microphone with a little filter in front of it, which is awesome.
Another one coming for that
cool.
Next week.
Yeah, but this one's fine. I like it. There's this whole soundboard thing that looks confusing. There's
GoFundMe, by the way. Thank you.
Oh, that guy.
Producer right here. Producer Wes Standish.
Yeah. Executive producer.
Producer Wes Standish.
In my stuff, there's a Wurlitzer electronic key
still
behind
works.
him. It looks cool. That's awesome. Oh, there's two telescopes back here. This might be on. I think they are.
Yeah. That one doesn't work, and that one's way too short for me to get to. I have to hold it like a pirate to the side. Like I like aim it up. Like, oh, okay, so there's the moon. I better not breathe.
And you have to look at it on. Yeah. I assume those are all broken guitar strings over there, all like wired up.
Yeah,
Hey y'all, by the way, do not buy your guitar strings on Amazon. Word from the wise over here. They break too fast.
Do you know where to tell them to go?
It was in Sacristy on
Sound systems on 544.
544, not 707.
Well, did you watch that whole little thing of me talking randomly yesterday, driving?
Yes.
How did that go? Because I didn't look at that at all.
My friend who is not familiar with the podcast was like, I just watched the Not episode and what the fuck? Pretty much like, what are you getting yourself into?
Yeah, like this is not normal.
Yeah.
It says not an episode, as a matter of fact.
But it was funny. It was you got the point across. I'm just looking for any other
You know.
Yeah, there's also a lot of records back here, like vinyl records, which is a cool, um, like somebody that like Kelsey would do, like an artsy, like very
Yeah.
music appreciative fella. There's some cocoa pebbles on top of the fridge, which
Yeah.
and I think Captain Crunch behind that.
Crunch berries. Yeah.
Crunch berries. I can only see
That
the
box. Chief
corner
bought
of
that
it.
box of cereal.
Yeah,
It's
he
been
would.
that long.
Chief, not Chief Senior, Chief.
Chief.
Like just
Yeah.
Chief himself. Yeah,
Chief
not his
Jr.
dad. Yeah. The bistro thing above the stove, kind of out of place, but I like it. I respect it.
Blair left it. See,
Yeah,
I've
that's
had
a Blair. That is definitely a Blair.
that's
piece.
Blair.
Yeah,
I've
that's a Blair
I've
piece.
had a lot of roommates here over the
Yeah,
years. I'm
yeah.
the common denominator. But every roommate that I've had
That's
has
really
left
funny.
little small pieces of
I bet
themselves
she
here.
left that little like.
No,
hanger thing. That's yours.
I put that in. Yeah,
Respect.
yeah, and that
Respect.
was me.
So this is a little thing
Yeah.
that's like pots and pans hanging from it, like one of those things you see in a movie where the killer grabs a knife off of it that's hanging from the ceiling or whatever, or like a
I didn't know I recorded that.
yeah, the pan where you like smash. The
Oh
guy on
yeah,
the
you're
head
talking about
with or
just
something.
hypothetical movies.
Yeah, not a
Oh
real
yeah,
movie.
not
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. Okay.
That wasn't on. That's
Okay.
fine. That was fun.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that a wok?
Yes, that is a wok. I
Yeah.
seasoned it myself.
It looks seasoned. It's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And a
would say
colander. Two colanders.
two colanders. You know, for small, one
I
for
get it.
meats and
I
one
get
for
it.
pastas.
Well, like a macaroni.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing.
Two colanders. Huh?
I try to
Would've never
I
taken
try
you
to
for a two-colander
leave.
guy.
Yeah, well, I'm a two colander guy. You know, it's like, did you watch Parks and Rec?
I did. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
Jerry in Parks and Rec.
Jerry's the yes.
Jerry, the
Yeah.
one that everybody repack of
Yes,
Parks and Rec.
basically, yeah.
The Jerry, he's like, he always talks about swallowing his wedding ring. He's like, you know what, man? I was eating a burrito or whatever the fuck it was. He was like, I just swallowed my wedding
By
ring.
accident.
And he's like, you know what? These days it's not really that much of a trouble. It's just a matter of getting the old colander
Oh
out.
my god. So that
So
explains
definitely.
too.
One for meats, one for pastas.
That explains too. What are the what's on top of the little diagonal?
Oh, those
bracket
little
there?
magnetic things?
Yeah, what's that about?
Those are just, I don't know. They showed up here one day. I don't know who brought them. I don't know where they came from, but they're magnetic, and I just stuck them up there.
Now
I used
a
to
couple
have them.
on
You
the
see
side
them
of the wall.
on the corner of the wall. I used to
Yeah.
have them like randomly up there, and they were like, are these things glued on? And they'd pick it up. I'm like, holy shit, is this magic? Like, no, it's just.
I like them whatever they are.
Yeah. See, I try to make it to where my house isn't, when people walk in it, they're not like, oh shit, this is a fucking wreck.
Right. No, it's
But
nice.
when people walk in here,
clean.
they're like, yeah, a dude definitely lives here, but it's a dude who gets bothered by little things.
That's right. But I think overall it's very clean. It's just like this part where we are is cluttered, which
There's
is
a lot of stuff.
like all part of like the persona of MI stuff, I think.
Now, after we get done rolling, I'll show you the room that I had like set up for where we were actually
yeah.
supposed to. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Where we were actually supposed to record, and I was going to run all this down there, but I talked to people, and they were like, you know what?
This is comfortable.
This is comfortable after you get used to like, oh shit, there's a studio in the living room.
Well, yeah, once you're like, yeah, there's a camera over there, and that's weird, and I just want to keep my face on half of it, and there's this microphone right in front of me. But once you get past that, it's cool. It's easy.
Well, that's cool.
And I would
Take that as a
recommend this
compliment.
to anybody that has been thinking about doing it, because I know you and I have been talking about this for
And you said you had
a long time.
a couple of reservations beforehand. I hope that we have squashed those.
Oh, yeah,
Not
we're
reservations, but just nervousness or whatever.
Yeah.
Being in front of a microphone or in front of a camera and on a microphone is like not ideal for
You
a
just don't
lot
know
of
if you
people.
can be yourself and like really like fire back at Kelsey, who's going to be like on all the time.
I'm not on all the time.
And that's not really. I wouldn't call you intimidating, but
I'm not intimidating.
well, no, you're not. But you are. You're good at this.
I'm not good at this.
But like I said, you and I can just talk like this.
Yes.
Here, there,
There's good
wherever.
banter.
That's right. It's a banter, and it's silly, or it can be real sometimes, but not that often.
Yeah, we've had a couple of real talks. You want to go? We'll maybe say that for another episode. I know you probably don't have a whole lot of
fine.
time
Yeah,
left.
I got nowhere to be.
I don't know what your morning is like or what your hours of sleep need to be
Well, we're
to
good.
function
We're
properly.
good.
But we had and I don't know why this.
I don't know where you're going with this, but I'm
You,
very interested to know. Go ahead.
I'll pull one of my meat things. So I got this new record the other day. I don't know if you saw. Lately I've been really into like Sun Volt and Wilco and Uncle
Right.
Tupelo and stuff like that. And this Uncle Tupelo album called No Depression. And I follow this group on Facebook. It's No Depression, and it's
Okay.
basically named after that album.
Right.
And they share a lot of Americana news and like Jason Isbell stuff. And anyway, I was listening to that Uncle Tupelo song, No Depression. It's like I'm going where there's no depression. My home's in heaven. You can find me there.
Sure.
Like it's just really really cool. Like the way that they're taking something that everybody has, like everybody suffers from depression at some
One form or
level,
another. That's right.
and they're taking something that everybody struggles with in a negative way, and they're trying to bring some sort of a positive light to it, or not necessarily a positive light to it, but just to show you the light at the end of the tunnel, because it's no doubt a tunnel. Some folks are just longer than others,
right.
and it takes them a lot longer to see the light or to get to the point where you think there's ever going to be that again. We had a lot of really good conversations about that back in, I think it was shortly after I had quit drinking or right before
Right in
that,
there, yes.
right in that area. And I'll have you know that when all the things that I told you then were 100% true, that we're not there anymore.
So you're out of that.
I'm out of the funk
See, good.
officially. And I really thank this podcast for that, because I felt like there was just so much stuff in my life and in my heart that I wasn't able to get out,
Right.
because I really didn't have anybody that I could talk to about that. And I guess the person that really needed to hear all those things the most was me. So I guess sitting here talking to myself.
Do you listen to the podcast after?
Yes.
Okay, so good.
Yeah, I do that because half of the time I don't know, like, it's sort of like, it's not like I'm spouting bullshit or anything like that. It's just that I'm not necessarily in control of a lot of these things when I'm speaking.
Right.
And a lot of the stuff just falls out. And I use this as a form to sort of learn who I was, like to learn. I'm really good at being other people.
Yeah.
I'm really good at characterizing or being other people. And I didn't know who I was. So I'm like, oh shit. So I guess this is my way of learning that about myself.
It's like a self-counseling.
Yeah.
Like work through it, hear yourself talk about it. Well, one, talk about it.
Humanize it, basically,
and
if you
two,
will.
hear yourself talk about it.
Yeah.
And understand how you feel about it. And that's a lot.
Yeah. And I did pretty good, I think, in the early episodes to try to air out as much of the like dark portions of my like childhood and things that really bothered me.
Yeah, we've heard that. Anybody that's listened to several episodes has heard a lot of that.
Yeah, and I try to like keep that in the forefront of my mind so that I don't fall back into negative places where when I'm not airing that out and I'm just alone with my thoughts. And
Yeah. So I feel like I go in and out of these things, but I go in and out of them like weekly or like monthly.
So like when you get in it, you're in it.
Yeah, but I'll be in it for like a day or even a couple hours. Like it's a weird.
Now is that every bit of the day, or is it just like a few? Like
no,
only
like
when
it
you
could
think
be
about
like
it.
yeah, it could just be like I can just dip in it.
Only when you think about it.
Yeah, if I start down that road, and like I don't have anything that's like super traumatic or anything. Like you've had some like real things happen to you, but it's like it's more of a I think it's more of like an anxiety or like a weird thing that you kind of dip into when you're by yourself, that leads to wanting to be around people, which then leads to being at a bar, which then leads to drinking, which then leads to
so it's sort of like this cat's chasing its tail.
It's like never stops. So, but I'm also like in general like a happy person and like a not depressed, but I can see how it happens to people that have like real things going on. But and in some ways it's kind of like it's kind of nice because sometimes you just like I just want to be like by myself. Like I don't want to be depressed, but I want to be in that mode. So it's a
Yes.
weird, you know what I mean?
Well, I'm the same way, and I sort of feed that monster. You know, I spend a lot of time alone. Like
Yeah.
I'd spend, and not only like I'll spend a lot of time alone in silence, like without TV or without radio or anything like that. Like just alone with my thoughts, like going through Reddit or whatever have you, like
Right.
or reading random shit. But I try to do that more often than not.
Yeah.
So I want to know, you know, myself, I guess.
Yeah, like where you are.
Yeah.
And that was like a thing for me, like just to stop, like make myself stop, you know, stop going out and stop feeding that, like you're talking about, like stop feeding that cycle. Just stop and just be with yourself and really, like, I don't know about appreciate yourself, but like be with yourself.
Yes.
Like not like I don't think like yourself or know,
just know yourself. Just know yourself. Like learn who you are. Like you, and that's the biggest issue that I think a lot of folks have. That, and I'm glad you say that you make it a point to spend time by yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's really important. Like people who spend their time around other people and surrounding themselves with other people all the time are going to find it very hard to know exactly who they are.
Yeah.
Because they're, you know, you are the only time you're your true self is when you're by yourself, because you're not having to put on a facade for anybody. You're not having to show off for.
But I feel like the older I've gotten and the more sort of confident I've gotten, and I'm a very social person. Like I like being out and about, and I like chatting. I like being in the mix with everybody.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, center of attention here and there, and you know,
there ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
I don't think. I mean, I'm the same way.
But the older I get, and the more comfortable you get with yourself, the more you can be yourself in that setting, also.
Yeah.
And not just when you're on your own, you know. So it's a weird thing, and like I don't pretend to be in a depressed state that a lot of people are.
Yes.
That is a real issue, but I think it's also something that, like you're saying, like these guys are trying to bring that into like a mainstream sort of consciousness or conversation, and that's something that needs to happen. Like this is a real thing, and this is something that people really
it's a legitimate struggle.
Yeah, for sure, and we should understand that. In the smallest way that I kind of deal with it, like this is like a day-to-day thing for a lot of people.
Game time decision every day, most people.
Yeah, just starting the day.
Yeah.
And how do I get out of this?
Well, and I would say that for some people who maybe alone time might not be the best thing for you at this point, but I would say that that's something that I would definitely suggest that one should work towards, is just finding out who you are. And sometimes that'll be a gruesome process, and your brain might take you to a lot of dark places.
Right.
But it's good to vent all that out. It's good to what's the word I'm looking for? It's good to like air all that out, basically.
Yeah.
Like get that shit out. But I remember that it was like in the beginning I had to force myself to do that because I was just so used to the Tito's thing, just being around people all the time. Like
social, surface,
and I always
fun, easy,
And even when I was home, like I always had roommates. Like there would always be another human that I would constantly be interacting with. And I think that's the most unhealthy thing for a human, is to constantly be interacting.
To never have like a
yes,
yeah.
And I didn't realize that was as unhealthy as I realized that it was until I got out and I was like, okay, I don't have a roommate now. I think I'm just going to try to do this thing by myself. I'm finally to the point where I feel like I can afford it or whatever. And I'm like, I'm just going to see how this goes. And dude, best decision I ever made in my life was guaranteeing alone time every day.
Right. Just when you get home, it's just you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm sure one day I'll probably, and this, I'm not any kind of a fortune teller or anything, but I probably will have a family one day.
That's right. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably be married with kids or whatever have you, but I really just think that that's going to be prolonged for as long as possible because of my newfound love of myself.
You got a little, yeah,
if
you
you
finally
will.
found it, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that old adage that you can't love anybody else until you learn how to love yourself is the
That's
truest
probably a real
shit
thing.
ever. I
That's
mean,
right.
and like I said, one of these days I'm sure that'll be a reality. But I feel so bad for those people in advance, like for my wife or my kids or whatever, because they're like, well, Dad's just gone again.
He just disappeared.
He just disappeared. He was just here.
He's down in the basement woodworking again.
Yeah,
Bastard.
he's the door's locked.
He's listening to that weird music again.
Yeah, exactly. I was the one worth leaving. God, he's down there crying again.
Nailed it.
But nah, that's. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I think that maybe in the 50s, Don Draper, I think that would have been an issue. But these days, the world's different, and everybody's got different little quirks about them, and everybody has anxiety. Everybody gets weird when they're out in public or around people. Everybody gets fucking weird. And I think that it's going to eventually come to, if anybody ever hears this and they feel that weirdness creeping into your life, just try being alone for a little while.
Yeah, kick it around.
Yeah, kick it around a little bit. So we got an hour and 41 minutes of content as of right this second, which is fucking great.
What's an hour 41 divided by 7?
Well,
is that 101 minutes?
Yeah, I mean it's at least
101 divided by 7. That's pretty.
It's
that's
two
a lot
something
of
because
topics.
an hour and 40. Well, no, I'm thinking 14, but that would not be.
That's
right.
a lot of topics.
That is a lot of topics.
I think we got to all the ones I wanted to talk to. Let me think for a second.
We got Repack. We got James.
Yeah. We got.
We even threw Stoney in there.
Tito's bathroom wall art.
Chicken Mike made an appearance.
Mike is in. Brooke.
We're talking about Chief and Chief Senior.
Chief Senior. We did not talk about the top 5 bartenders at Tito's. We'll save that. I like ranking them.
The top 5 all time?
No, just like current. But we could go all time.
No. The all time would be.
We could go top 5 all time.
Top 5 all time would become
so
like a Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Bill Russell sort of thing, where it's like hard to compare apples to oranges.
And refreshed on like who
Dude,
all.
there were so many bartenders.
So many bartenders. There were your Marlboro County native Scott. He was
Chesterfield County.
My bad.
No Marlboro County in him.
That's my fault.
Oh Scott. Oh fuck.
Yeah, Scott.
Oh shit. Hold on. We might need to order some of that. Oh shit. Fuck. The Jim just called and he says he saw me on the camera playing the monkey machine. He's all mad.
How did Tito's keep making money after the monkey machine disappeared?
I don't know.
That's a miracle.
Is it? Can we air that out? Is that legal? It doesn't matter. It's all gone now.
Yeah.
It was legal. It wasn't illegal.
Legit.
We got hit. It was news.
Fine. Yeah, we're gonna have to I need a list. Like we need to make a list.
We'll do this. The next time we do this, I kind of like the free form. I like the banter of not really knowing.
We didn't even talk about social media really, which is fine.
Yeah, and that's totally what we were gonna. But we'll do another one with bullet points, and I'll stay on top of that.
Bullet points.
You don't want to?
No, we can.
No, wait. Okay.
As long as they're all ridiculous.
They'll all be ridiculous.
All right.
So you want to give these people a couple minutes of just nonsense?
Let's do it.
Woo.
Tang.
Woo.
Tang.
Woo.
Wait, who am I looking at in this picture down here? Just dropped it.
Oh man, there's actually a funny. Was it the picture that was sitting up here?
Yeah, it was a couple cats on a guitar. It's
a picture of me, and I think Smitty also may be in the background of that.
Oh God! There we go, y'all.
There we go, y'all.
Oh God!
Here, let's see that.
Yeah.
The perks of being a woodworker.
Where'd the picture go?
It may have disappeared. Things do that around that area. Would not have been surprised if it legitimately disappeared.
I'll be right back.
All right. Well, while Brother Wes is going to relieve himself in the facilities, excuse him, I will take this portion to tell you to check out the any. I know there's a couple of new listeners from folks who Wesley knows. I am not an idiot. I don't think. And also that these things are usually a bit more planned and a bit more organized or whatever. But I kind of like the whole, especially with somebody like Wes, who we've been talking about this for years. He's been into podcasts longer than I have. And just knowing that we are able to pretty much bounce back and forth pretty good. Wasn't too worried about staying organized or even on topic because yeah, I think that's important in conversations. Conversations don't work like that anyway. People go back and forth and say whatever the fuck they want all the time. That's just how conversations work. Ah, there it is. See, it did disappear.
It did, and then it didn't.
So, girl who was in the bar the night.
Smitty.
Yeah, and yeah, me and Smitty.
Like that guy.
A girl who was in the bar tonight that her boyfriend threw a salt shaker at me. Do you remember that?
I do not. Where were you? Is that Bubba's?
It was at this was at Pilot House. But the girl who took this picture, her boyfriend was someone that we both know very well and who's just a diva when he gets drunk.
Oh boy.
Threw a salt shaker at me one night when I was slammed and in the weeds because he couldn't get a drink.
Oh my God.
And I told him, he said, "What can I do to make it up to you?" And I said, "Get the fuck out of this bar and never come back again." Do you remember that night?
No.
If I told you the name of who it was, and I don't want to. It was.
I have a couple of guesses, but that's okay. Oh yeah.
It was him that night. So it was his girlfriend at the time.
But he threw it at you like aggressively.
Nah, it was just like
kind of like
I'm gonna try to get this attention. It was back. I've always had a pretty big beard.
Sure.
He threw it and hit me in the chest, and salt went all up in my beard, and I was like in the weeds, and I was always on a pretty even kill the whole time. But one thing happened, and I just lost my shit.
Knowing him, I haven't seen him in a long time. He was probably really drunk.
Yeah,
also.
Yeah, he was.
But still, that's rude and very annoying if you're busy.
He knows the. I think we both know where we stand with each other now.
He doesn't really come around that much anymore.
Not a whole lot. I always liked this dog better. But anywho, so in closing.
This has been a pleasure. I would say that for one.
This has been a pleasure, and
let's do this again.
We're gonna do this again.
Yeah. So I had a thought.
Okay.
Whenever you have, so I want to do a thing. What do you call it? A segment with segments every so often. So you'll say, let's just call it 7 minutes, if you will.
The 7 minute segment.
Pop in for a 7 minute segment here and there. And I would, the meme that's like such and such, like peanut butter and jelly is terrible. Prove me wrong.
Change my mind.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I would come in with some like opinion.
Like talk me out of this.
Yeah. Like, and you'd be really good at talking me out of it. Like, let me think of one. Like Journey is fucking terrible. Okay. And I believe that.
Don't make me talk you out of that.
Oh, you're into that.
I mean, I have a couple of Journey vinyls. Okay,
well, maybe sometimes you would agree with me, which would make it funny too.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of something else. Like, I don't know. Ah, man, I can't think of any right now. But just think of something.
Listen,
that's like
the SEC East is as good as the SEC West.
Yeah, if I were to say something asinine like that,
the fact that you come
yeah,
the diet SEC.
But it would be something that I believe.
Yeah.
That then you would have to like rebut. Is that a word? Rebut?
Yeah, a rebuttal.
You would have to come with a rebuttal. Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, I was just thinking about like some funny things that would be like a good like recurring.
That'd be fun. We do call-ins.
Yeah, just be something dumb, just a quick. Oh. Hey, this is Brian from Cheetos.
Yeah, I just want to say I agree with Kelsey about a journey and I play the drums, so I know about this. Good.
Sup, jackass. Sup, jackass.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian. Sup, man. I heard that.
Anyway,
I didn't hear that.
We'll just put a pin in that.
We'll put a pin in that grenade.
That's what we'll do.
Put a pin in the old grenade. Okay, so Wednesday is now Thursday, just for this week.
Yeah.
The content comes at you on Sundays and Wednesdays. Special occasion, anytime Wes Standish wants to be on this podcast, we're going to do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
No matter what.
This was really good.
Listen, now that you've gotten one out of the way and you know that there's nothing to be fearful
Dip
of.
the toe in the water.
Indeed. Now
I'm going to do a backflip.
Jump on in.
Do a backflip.
Backflip, man.
I've never done a backflip.
I tell you what, be sure.
Water. Have you ever done a backflip into a body of water?
I have, but I only once because
It's pretty good.
It's when you're fat,
right?
And I've
similar.
There was that one time in my life when you met me in which I may not have been as fat as I was the rest of my life.
Then. Yeah.
But when I was a fat kid, I didn't have the ups.
Oh, the spring.
No matter how much you just don't want to break that diving board, and you don't jump far enough out, and then you slide down that diving board, and just like you got like that.
Everybody's watching.
Everybody's seen it at my cousin Troy's house at Odenville, Alabama, right across the Sportsman Lake, right there. His wife hated the look at you, you're all the way out now.
Oh,
but his wife hated to swim in the lake, so they'd put a pool in.
Over there in Odenville.
Odin there in Odenville.
Damn.
Odin there. Dude, it's called the Hudgens Holler. Everybody who lived in this little community called the Hudgens Holler was like related. All my family were there.
So the Hudgenses.
Hudgens
all from Hudgens Holler.
Odenville, Alabama.
Just outside of Odenville, Alabama.
It's in Odenville, Alabama. The little community, the little neighborhood's called the Hudgens Holler. And it's not as much the Hudgens Holler anymore because it's on the side of a mountain and there's like these multi-million-dollar homes that have been built on the side of this mountain where it used to be just us.
Right.
And now it's all these other, what's the name of them?
Yeah, they found the hot spot.
They did, and they, thank God that my family were the ones that benefited from all of these rich people that are building houses there because it's pretty awesome. Like the property value is looking good.
Skyrocketing.
Looking good. It is as high as the mountains are.
Hello.
High as I'm about to be, baby. Woo! Woo! Tang!
Woo!
Tang! Woo!
Wait.
Tang!
Woo! Tang!
Tang! Woo! Tang! Woo! Ain't nothing to fuck with. Brother Wes,
my pleasure, Kelsey. This was great.
This was great.
I can't believe it got so late.
I can't believe that I can't believe that this happened. This is happening.
We finally did it.
I can't believe that I've done 43 episodes of this thing.
It's really awesome for you. I'm glad for you.
This is you being here is the best thing.
Keep doing this.
You being here is the best thing.
That's right.
It's like, dude, this is really good for you. Having me here.
Yes, my favorite part about your podcast is the fact that I'm on it.
The best part about this thing is that I'm here.
That's right. You're welcome. Up top.
Good game. My
pleasure, dude.
All right, well, we're getting out of here. Do you have anything that you want to tell the kind people to listen to or watch at all? I usually do those on Sundays, but if you
I heard you talking about Nickel Creek the other day. I haven't heard that in a long time, and I really
Nickel Creek.
Yeah, and I really always enjoy Nickel Creek. Now, I don't have anything specific. I would just say anything like teen angst music you can get your hands on from 02.
Just as long as this thing's loaded.
There it is.
Now will you tell all your friends
there
you got your gun to my head?
You can find it.
You can find it in there.
I think it's like one of those albums. It's like a tribute album.
It's not the greatest song in the world. It's a tribute.
Yeah, it's a tribute album. You're gonna enjoy it. It'll be here tomorrow, hopefully, if I remember it.
Okay.
All right.
All
Oh,
right.
yeah, what do you give me? Give me 3 listens.
I listened to Uncle Tupelo,
Okay.
No Depression, Wilco AM,
Yep.
and Sunvolt Trace.
Sunvolt Trace. I've never heard of Sunvolt.
Sunvolt is part of Uncle Tupelo. Half of Uncle Tupelo went on to form Wilco, and the other half went on to form Sunvolt.
See?
So, may the wind take your troubles away. Other than that, watch whatever the fuck you want to watch. I'm not in charge here. Just do what you want.
Yeah, do that.
All right. Well,
Thanks, dude.
love ya, world. Good to see you. Thanks for listening. We're at 100 minutes on the dot. There we go.
Nailed
we made it. Nailed it. All right, Wes. Good game.
Dude,
love you, buddy.
Hilarious. You're my man. Love you.
Peace, bitches.
Deuces.
Perfect.
Hilarious.
Hilarious. All right, YouTube world. Good to see you. Glad you got to see
Patrick.
us.
Bye, Patrick.
Bye.
Judge me about these telescopes, bro.